तुलसी महारानी की जय।
जय
भक्ति देवी की जय।
जय
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।
जय
समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
जय
जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि
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 बोल।
बोल।
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्णा
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्णा
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्णा
All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All
हरि हरि
glories
बोल।
Srila Prabhupada. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। श्रीमद्भागवतम कैंटो 3 chapter 15. Sorry, I have to open the page. 1 second. Yes, text 46. So chapter 3 is description of the kingdom of God. Let me share the screen. Yeah. 3:15:46. कुमारा ऊचुः योऽन्तर्हितो हृदि गतोऽपि दुरात्मनां त्वम्. Make it bigger. सोऽद्यैव नो नयनमूलमनन्तराद्धः यर्ह्येव कर्णविवरेण गुहां गतो नः पित्रानुवर्णितरः भवदुद्भवेन. कुमारा ऊचुः योऽन्तर्हितो हृदि गतोऽपि दुरात्मनां त्वम् सोऽद्यैव नो नयनमूलमनन्तराद्धः यर्ह्येव कर्णविवरेण गुहां गतो नः पित्रानुवर्णितरः भवदुद्भवेन. कुमारा ऊचुः योऽन्तर्हितो हृदि गतोऽपि दुरात्मनां त्वम् सोऽद्यैव नो नयनमूलमनन्तराद्धः यर्ह्येव कर्णविवरेण गुहां गतो नः पित्रानुवर्णितरः भवदुद्भवेन. Please chant. No one?
Hare Krishna. Kumara uchu yo natarito ridigato apiduratman tam so adaivano nayana mulam anantoradhya.
नयना मूलम् अनन्तराधा यर्हि हे वक्रना विवरेण गुहां गतो न. What happened? Sorry.
यो
Hare Krishna.
अन्तर्हितो हृदि गतोऽपि कुमार ऊचु यो अन्तर्हितो हृदि गतोऽपि दुरात्मना मां त्वम् सोऽध्यैव नो नयनमूलम् अनन्तधा यर्ह्येव कर्णविवरेण गुहं गतो न पीता पी पित्रानुवर्णितरः भवद् उद्धवेन.
Hare Krishna. Kumara Uchu na yo antarhitorido gatopi duratmanam tam so addaivano nayana mulam anantoradhya arha yahi aye karna vivarnena guham gato na पित्रानुभर्णिताराः भवाद् उद्भवेन. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Kumara Ocho. Yo antarhito hridi gato api duratmanam tvam sodayev no nayana moolam anantaradha yarhi ev karna vipuren guham gato na pitranavarnitaraha bhavad uttapavena. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Anyone else? We'll do word-to-word translation. Kumara Uchuhu, the Kumaras said, Yaha, he who, Antarhitaha, not manifested, Hridi, in the heart, Gataha, is seated, Api, even though, Duratmanam, to the rascals, Tvam, you, Saha, he, Adya, today, Eva, certainly, Naha, of us, Nayanamulam, face to face, Ananta, O unlimited one, Radhaha, attained, Yarhi, when, Eva, certainly, Karna Vivarena, through the years, Guham, intelligence, Gataha, have attained, Naha, our, Pitra, by our father, Anuvarnita, described, Rahaha, mysteries, Bhavat Udbhavena, by your appearance. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The Kumaras said, Our dear Lord, you are not manifested to rascals, even though you are seated within the heart of everyone. But as far as we are concerned, we see you face to face, although you are unlimited. The statements we have heard about you from our father Brahma through the years have now been actually realized by your kind appearance. I'll read that again. The Kumaras said, Our dear Lord, you are not manifested to rascals, even though you are seated within the heart of everyone. But as far as we are concerned, we see you face to face, although you are unlimited. The statements we have heard about you from our father Brahma through the years have now been actually realized by your kind appearance. Purport. The so-called yogis who concentrate their mind or meditate upon the impersonal or void are described here. This verse of Srimad Bhagavatam describes persons who are expected to be very expert yogis engaged in meditation, but who do not find the Supreme Personality of Godhead seated within the heart. These persons are described here as Duratma, which means a person who has a very crooked heart or a less intelligent person, just opposite to a Mahatma, which means one who has a broad heart. Those so called yogis who, although engaged in meditation, are not broad hearted, cannot find the four-handed Narayan form, even though he is seated within their heart. Although the first realization of the Supreme Absolute Truth is impersonal Brahman, one should not remain satisfied with experiencing the impersonal effulgence of the Supreme Lord. In the Ishopanishad also, the devotee prays that the glaring effulgence of Brahman may be removed from his eyes so that he can see the real personal feature of the Lord and thus satisfy himself fully. Similarly, although the Lord is not visible in the beginning because of his glaring bodily effulgence, if a devotee sincerely wants to see him, the Lord is revealed to him. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that the Lord cannot be seen by our imperfect eyes. He cannot be heard by our imperfect ears, and he cannot be experienced by our imperfect senses. But that if one engages in devotional service with faith and devotion, then God reveals himself. Here the four sages Sanat Kumar, Sanatan, Sanandan, and Sanaka are described as actually sincere devotees. Although they had heard from their father Brahma about the personal feature of the Lord, only the impersonal feature Brahman was revealed to them. But because they were sincerely searching for the Lord, they finally saw his personal feature directly, which corresponded with the description given by their father. They thus became fully satisfied. Here they express their gratitude because although they were foolish impersonalists in the beginning, by the grace of the Lord they could now have the good fortune to see his personal feature. Another significant aspect of this verse is that the sages describe their experience of hearing from their father Brahma, who was born of the Lord directly. In other words, the disciplic succession from the Lord to Brahma, and from Brahma to Narada, and from Narada to Vyasa, and so on, is accepted here. Because the Kumaras were sons of Brahma, they had the opportunity to learn Vedic knowledge from the disciplic succession of Brahma. And therefore, in spite of their impersonalist beginnings, they became, in the end, direct seers of the personal feature of the Lord. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna. After a long time, I am Kavita Ghosh. Oh, my name is Ajay.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 15th chapter, which is the description of the kingdom of God. So the scene or the context here is that the Kumaras have arrived at Vaikuntha, and they saw wonderful things of Vaikuntha, the wonderful opulences of Vaikuntha, the beauty. However, their hearts were not, they were not able to relish the beauty of Vaikuntha. They were not able to appreciate it like a devotee yet. And then they crossed the there are 7 gates, they crossed 6 gates and arrived at gate number 7. And there were these two doorkeepers, Jay and Vijay. They were nicely dressed with garlands and ornaments. And when they saw, so the Kumaras were small boys, although they were 50 years old, because Brahmaji is 50 years old, Kumaras are also as old as Brahmaji. But they looked like small boys, about 5 years old. So when the gatekeepers saw them, they stopped them and they were not happy. And the Kumaras also, they had some, they were not happy. They said, what kind of servants are they that they are behaving in a manner which is opposed to the nature of their master, Lord Vishnu. So they ended up cursing Jai Vijay that they were not fit to stay in Vaikuntha, so they should go to the place where there is lust, anger, and greed, and which will eventually lead people to hell. So when they were cursed, Jay and Vijay, they immediately realized their fault and they fell on the feet of Kumaras, saying that your cursing us is appropriate, but please give us this one benediction that we may not forget the Lord, right? And the glories of the Lord. They will be remembering, they'll get a chance to hear the Lord's glories. Seeing the repentance of these devotees, the Kumaras also got a change of heart and they started repenting that oh my God, what have we done? We have uh, uh, we have cursed the devotees of the Lord. So this is the effect of coming in the association of devotees. So the Kumaras were impersonalists, Brahmavadis. But coming in the association of devotees and seeing, experiencing the nature of devotees in the form of these Vaikuntavasis, Jai Vijay, their repentance, that touched the heart of the Kumaras, and now they were also feeling very bad and repenting. So this actually nourished bhakti in their hearts. So because both were mutually begging forgiveness and repenting, that actually attracted the Lord. And the Lord came there to reveal the to reveal his Brahmanyatvam. That means he is the well-wisher of the Brahmanas, in this case the Kumaras, and also to reveal the Bhakta Vatsalyam, his Bhakta Vatsalyam. That means his affection for his devotees, Jai Vijay. So he wanted to show. And also the Lord wanted to give the Kumaras, now drown them in bhakti, because drown them in the taste of his lotus feet. Until now, they were only tasting the bliss of Brahmananda. But Bhagavad Ananda is far, far superior to Brahmananda. The Lord wanted to give that taste to the Kumaras. He decided to give that, to reveal himself and give, give them the taste of his lotus feet. So for this purpose, the Lord walked there. And he came there along with his consort Lakshmi Devi. And when the Vaikuntavasis got this news, they all, quickly arrived there. Wherever they were, everyone came with gifts for the Lord. Then we saw the Kumaras were afraid that the Lord is coming. Oh my God, what will he say to us? Because we have cursed his very dear devotees. They were worried. But at the same time, they saw that the Lord is completely happy, and he didn't look disturbed at all. Both externally and internally, he looked completely peaceful. He didn't look like he was disturbed. So now they were reassured. Oh, so the Lord is not angry with us like that. And how was Jay and Vijay feeling? They were thinking that they were crying because they are cursed. They'll be leaving the Lord, they will be leaving Vaikuntha. So thinking of their impending separation and seeing that the Lord is coming, seeing that now they will not be able to see the Lord again, they were crying. So this was the situation. And then we saw the Lord is revealing, or how the Kumaras were seeing the Lord. We saw that in 5 verses, a description of the Lord's beauty and the effect that it had on the Kumaras. So, what did we see? That, one second. Yes. So, this starts with text 38 onwards, I think. That the sages saw the Lord surrounded by devotees. So the Lord, when he's coming, he's surrounded by devotees. And, there were chamaras and umbrella on his head. So beautiful description of the Lord. His face is compared to a blue lotus. The umbrella is compared to a moon, like that. So the Kumaras are seeing this. So they're seeing, the Kumaras are seeing the beautiful form of the Lord. the sweetness of the Lord is being experienced by the Kumaras. And what were they feeling? That we discussed already. They were feeling, at first they were fearful, but then they saw, oh, the Lord is satisfied. So now they felt reassured. And there's further description of how, the Lord's beauty, his broad hips covered with a yellow cloth, and there's a, shining belt like that. And his description of his cheeks, right? And his earrings, their effulgence being reflected on his cheeks, like that. And he's accompanied by goddess Lakshmi. So after this, so there's a description of his limbs. The Kumaras are seeing all this, right? While they were seeing this, the aroma of the tulsi leaves on the lotus feet of the Lord, the lotus toenails of the Lord, entered the nostrils of the Kumaras. And this completely conquered their minds, their hearts, and then the rest of the body. So, beautiful description there, what happened, right? An analogy is given when the enemy wants to conquer a fort. What does he do? First of all, he captures the king's, wherever the king is situated, he'll go and capture that. And once the king is captured, then the rest of the fort becomes his. So similarly, here, the aroma of tulsi through the nostrils entered and conquered the heart. Heart is like the king, conquered the heart. And after that, all the other senses were completely conquered, like that. So now the Kumaras are seeing the Lord face to face. They're looking at his beautiful, the sweetness of his beautiful face, which is compared to a blue lotus bud. And even more beautiful than the face are his beautiful lips and his jasmine flower-like smile. But the condition of the Kumaras was that they were like small children in bhakti. That means they were impersonalists before. Now they are able to relish the sweetness of the Lord's form. How are the Kumaras who are impersonalists able to relish the sweetness of the Lord's form? So that they explain in today's verse. Actually, in verse 44 also it is said, partly. So they are relishing, but having been impersonalists before, and now relishing this. So they're not, because the point is they're not so advanced. Their bhakti is not so powerful. So therefore, it's like a small child and you give so many fruits. We remember that pastime of the fruit vendor in Krishna's pastime. He's a small boy, and the fruit vendor keeps so many fruits in his arms. So, what will be the condition of a small child in trying to hold those fruits?
Hold all of them.
Yeah, right. Trying to hold but unable to hold. This is
So sweet.
exactly, yeah, this is exactly the condition of the Kumaras, that there's so much beauty, so much sweetness. Every limb of Krishna, as we saw in those 5 verses description, his smile, his face, right? Just his face was so attractive. They could not take in sufficiently. That means there was so much, but they couldn't contain it. Their container was small, right? Why? Because their bhakti was not as powerful. So they were not able to take in all that beauty. And meanwhile, while looking at the face, oh, this is also there, this is also there, right? They're completely bewildered what to take. So then they look at the lotus feet. Oh, the lotus feet, the toenails are so beautiful, so attractive. And they just keep looking at the toenails. But then, oh, I'm missing out on the beautiful face. So they just go up and start looking at the beautiful face. And again, the toenails. So they just keep going up and down like this, trying to hold all that beauty. This is the condition of the Kumaras. So, uh, So having experienced a little of the sweetness of the Lord's face, and being unsatisfied, they looked again at his beautiful feet, which were the shelter of ruby nails. And again looking at the underside of his feet, the soles of his feet, again and again they looked up at the face. So now there is a question here that how the Kumaras are able to relish the sweetness, how they are able to relish the sweetness. In yesterday's verse, we see Lord Brahma is saying that the yogis, Ashtanga yogis, meditate on this form of the Lord. That means the Kumaras are seeing that Lord who is the object of meditation for those seeking liberation by Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga yogis, they meditate on Paramatma. Paramatma is the beautiful form of the Lord. That form which is meditated on by Ashtanga yogis is being seen by the Kumaras. So, and then, so what is the qualification of the Kumaras? How are they seeing that form? How are they able to see that form? Labdhashishaha. Punar aveksha tadiyam angri. Labdha ashishaha. Labdha means to receive. Ashisha means blessings or the mercy. They received the mercy of Lord Brahma and also their brother Narad Muni. Because of receiving mercy of Lord Brahma and then their brother Narad Muni. Now they got the mercy of the Supreme Lord, and because of receiving the mercy of the Supreme Lord, they are able to experience the Lord's sweetness. Okay, you're able to follow? First, they got the mercy of Brahma, who's a devotee, and Narad Muni, who's also a devotee. Because Kumaras they were not devotees, they were impersonalists. So in the previous verse, when Brahmaji is saying that the Kumaras saw that Lord, their 8 features of the Lord are explained. His form, his taste, his touch, his fragrance, and what's the other one? Form, yeah, his, sound, right? Hearing him speak, his voice. These are 5. And also 6th one is his mercy. His mercy. And 7th one are his actions or his leelas. And the 8th one is his opulence. So these are the 8 aspects of the Lord that are experienced by his devotees. His devotees only can experience, that is the point. Of these 8, the first 7, that means the Lord's form, his taste, his touch, his voice, right? So, and also his mercy and his actions. These are experienced only by his Madhurya Bhaktas. Madhurya Bhaktas means in Goloka. Only in Goloka devotees can experience these 7 aspects of the Supreme Lord. And his Aishwarya devotees, they experience his opulence. His Aishwarya is experienced. And even those who get mukti, Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, Mukti in Vaikuntha, they can also experience the Lord's opulence. Aishwarya can be experienced. But the Kumaras, they're not, we know they are impersonalists. How they are experiencing? That's the question here. So what was the verse today? Now the Kumaras are speaking. Kumara Uchu, what are they saying? Yontar hito hridigato pi duratmanam tvam. Yaha. That means that person, the Supreme Lord, antarhitaha, he is not manifested. Even though he is situated in the heart of everyone, not everyone is able to see him or experience him. Kumaras are saying now. So what happened before this? They actually are able to experience. They are experiencing his beauty, his sweetness, and they're not able to contain it. That's why they're going back and they're completely bewildered. They don't know what to do. They're overwhelmed. Who are the Kumaras? They are fixed in Brahmananda. Not that they once experienced, they are fixed in Brahmananda. But the Ananda coming from the beauty of the Lord is far, far more superior, that they just gave up that Brahmananda when they encountered the Lord's sweetness, his beautiful form. And what to speak of when that aroma of Tulsi entered into their heart? They completely, simply by the aroma of Tulsi, which is on one of his limbs, right? By that aroma, this is their condition. What will happen if the Lord actually embraced them? But even that much was sufficient to completely bewilder the Kumaras. So now, after experiencing this sweetness, now they're speaking. They're saying, my Lord, those who are duratmas, they cannot see you. They cannot experience your sweetness. Duratmas cannot experience your sweetness. Even though you are present in their heart, they don't see you. They don't experience you. Then, Sodhyaivano Nayanamula Manantaradhaha. So, my Lord, you are that person who is not visible to uh, everyone. Even though you're there in everyone's heart, you're not visible. But you became visible to us. Oh, what unlimited mercy! What great mercy! How fortunate we are! We have experienced the bliss of seeing you directly today. We are so fortunate, oh unlimited Lord, oh ocean of unlimited powers. What did they say? They said, Anantaradaha, right? The Lord's opulences, both his sweetness as well as his opulence, right? That means Madhurya and Aishwarya. They are unlimited, there's no limit. Nobody can measure the limit of his sweetness. Sweetness means, again, his taste, his touch, his everything, the sweetness coming from his fragrance of his body. You cannot compare it with anything else in the entire creation or anywhere. The form, right? His beautiful form. Everything is so sweet, right? Madhurad adharam madhuram vadanam madhuram. Everything about him is madhuram. Extreme sweetness. There's no limit. That's why Ananta Radha, Ananta, there's no limit to his sweetness and there is no limit to his opulences. So the Kumaras are saying that, oh, unlimited Lord, oh, ocean of unlimited sweetness and unlimited Aishwarya, powers. Even though you are situated in the heart of everyone, you are not visible to the sinful. Duratmas means Duratma. Those who are sinful, they cannot see you. Still, you have appeared to us today. So, so the Lord is asking, I appeared to you. They're saying, you have appeared in front of our eyes today, although we have experienced you before also. Okay? What are they saying? That yarhye vakarna vivarena guham gato naha. In the past we have experienced, not experienced, but so paroksha and aparoksha.
we heard.
Paroksha means indirect. Previously also we have experienced you, but indirectly.
Yeah,
Today we are experiencing you
directly.
directly. Aparoksha experience we are getting. So when they said that previously also we experienced you, the Lord is saying, you experienced me previously? When? So they're saying that you do not remember. Huh? Our father, Brahmaji, had described your form to us. your secret nature was described to us by our father Brahmaji. So when he described that description of you, the sweet of your sweetness, the description of your sweetness, the description of your opulence, that entered our ears. And we experienced you through our intelligence. That's why aparoksha. So that's not direct experience. So what happens is, this is, see, we say Krishna Bhavanamrita. Bhavana. Bhavana, see, when we chant Hare Krishna or when we are doing some devotional service, are you experiencing some satisfaction, some sweetness, some reciprocation? At some point, right? May not be all the time, but sometimes, right?
Yes, yes.
Experience. You take darshan of the deities, you're there in Mangalarti, or you experience. What is that experience? Is it Krishna personally giving you the experience? So that personally, face to face, Krishna giving us experience, that happens when one comes to prema. But that does not mean before that you're not experiencing. That experience is indirect. There's two here, direct and indirect experience. Indirect experience is in the form of bhavana. It's Krishna only, but you experience him indirectly in the form of Krishna consciousness. You experience him in the form of Krishna consciousness. But direct experience he will give you when he is pleased by your sadhana and he reveals himself. So in the case of Kumaras, now he is giving direct experience. But before that, they heard from Brahmaji, the Lord's description. So, why Brahmaji described? Brahmaji's mood was that you are my sons, Kumaras, and you are absorbed in this Brahmananda, but what is there in this Brahmananda? Huh? Listen to the wonderful description of the Lord. What is this Ananda that you are relishing? This is nothing. Real Ananda is something else. And after saying this, he actually blessed them. Right? He blessed them, saying Astu. And after blessing them, he started describing Bhagavan. Because of Brahmaji's blessing, the Kumaras accepted Bhakti, Lord Vishnu's Bhakti. Previously, they were Gyanis. But because of Brahmaji's blessing, now they accepted Vishnu Bhakti. When they accepted Bhakti and when they heard Shravanam, right, hearing, they were experiencing the Lord indirectly through their mind and through their intelligence. Through Krishna Bhavana, they were experiencing. That means the Lord entered into the mind and intelligence in the form of bhavana or consciousness. And when the Lord enters there, then there is some taste experienced by the devotee. So that's why the Kumaras are saying in this verse that, my Lord, we have heard about your descriptions from our father. At that time, we got paroksha experience of you in the form of bhavana. Okay? But now, today, we became so fortunate. By your mercy, we are able to experience you directly. Face to face, we are experiencing you directly. So, there's a very important philosophical point to be understood here. The Lord's mercy. So, the Kumaras, how they came to Vaikuntha? They came to Vaikuntha looking for Lord Vishnu. If they are Gyanis, why are they looking for Lord Vishnu? Because Gyanis' goal is going and merging into impersonal Brahmajyoti. Why they came to Vaikuntha looking for Lord Vishnu? Of course, there are, it's the Lord's desire that's there, you know. But how they got uh, this inspiration to come? Because they heard a description of Vaikuntha and of Lord Vishnu. And after hearing, now they started searching, looking for the Lord. They got that desire. That means that desire was possible because of receiving mercy from the devotee. Unless you receive mercy from a devotee, you will not get any faith in bhakti in the Lord. Okay. Now, after receiving the devotee's mercy, what happened? They came to Vaikuntha. Now they received the Lord's mercy. The Lord personally walked there and he decided, I want to deliver them. Why the Lord decided like this? Because they already received the mercy of the devotee. The Lord gives his mercy after the devotee gives mercy. His mercy follows the devotee's mercy. First of all, we need the mercy of a devotee, and when we receive a devotee's mercy, the Lord's mercy will follow. So that's why the Lord came. And when will you experience the Lord? You can only experience the Lord. I'm talking about direct experience. Direct experience is only possible when the Lord, out of his own sweet will, reveals himself. When he reveals himself, that's when you will be able to experience him. When will he reveal himself? When he is pleased. When he is pleased by your sadhana. Not that by your sadhana you'll be able to see him. No. No, not directly like that. You can do sadhana, but when the Lord is pleased by your sadhana, he can decide not to show himself. No problem. You can be doing sadhana, but he won't show himself. And in some cases, when someone receives the mercy of a devotee, even without doing sadhana, the Lord may, because that devotee gave mercy and the Lord's mercy follows behind the devotee's mercy, even without doing any sadhana, the Lord may reveal himself to that devotee. He can do that. So the point is, you will experience the Lord when the Lord reveals himself, when he gives his mercy, that's when you will experience him. So now look at the Kumara's case. They came to Vaikuntha because they heard from Brahmaji first. Brahmaji is a devotee. They got mercy of Brahmaji, so they came. But by coming to Vaikuntha, did they see the Lord immediately? No. They saw the Lord when the Lord came and he revealed himself. So experiencing the Lord is in the Lord's hand. But the Lord will give that. He will not give it until and unless you first get the devotee's mercy. Does that make sense? Or is it confusing? One more time I will say. First you need the devotee's mercy. By the devotee's mercy, you will get the Lord's mercy. When you get the Lord's mercy, then you can experience the Lord. Otherwise, no. Without the Lord's mercy, nobody can experience him. You cannot experience the Lord by devotee's mercy. By devotee's mercy, you'll get the Lord's mercy. By the Lord's mercy, you can experience the Lord. When does this experiencing of the Lord happen? It happens in Prema Bhakti. Bhava bhakti also you experience, but within your antakarana, within your heart, you will be experiencing. But face to face, direct experience happens when you come to prema. At that time, the Lord reveals Himself. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. So there buddhi yoga is explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He's actually in that prema stage. He's revealing himself. So here the Lord is revealing himself to the Kumaras. So how the Kumaras became so fortunate? Because of mercy from Brahmaji. Brahmaji had said, "O my sons, realizers of Brahman, meeting me directly is millions of times more blissful than realizing Brahman." Brahmaji is saying, that means meeting me, meeting Brahmaji, is more blissful than realizing Brahman. Let that be. Bhagavan, who's like a blue lotus with 4 strong arms, decorated with bracelets, armbands, and earrings, with moon-like face, residing in Vaikuntha, is available by bhakti. So Kumaras are telling the Lord, when we heard the blessings of mercy given by our father, a great devotee of the Lord, the fruits of that blessing would definitely appear in future. So because of that mercy, today we are able to meet you. Right? So we know that this meeting today with you arises from the incomparable mercy of your devotee. You do not independently give mercy to us. You are dependent on your devotees. So that is the lesson from today's verse and this episode actually. The lesson that is being taught in this episode is that the Lord's mercy always follows devotees' mercy. We have a few minutes. I want to once again go over the purport quickly. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, the so-called yogis who concentrate their mind on the impersonal or on the void are described as duratmas here. That means the Lord is there in their heart also, but they cannot see the Lord. So these persons are described here as duratma, which means a person who has a very crooked heart or a less intelligent person. So duratma is the opposite of mahatma. Mahatma means Prabhupada is saying broad heart. So what should you understand by a broad heart? Mahatma is a devotee. Mahatma is a devotee who received the mercy, right, of a devotee and therefore is now a devotee himself, Mahatma. Duratma means crooked heart. You know why crooked heart? We read about this actually we will read it in the 28th chapter about Ashtanga yogis. So there is somebody called a Kuyogi. Kuyogi, he is practicing Ashtanga yoga. His goal is impersonal liberation. But while practicing Ashtanga yoga, at one point, he actually sees Paramatma in the heart. But he is thinking any form, right? Or any type of, so when there is form, there will be attachment and aversion. So therefore, I should make all forms zero. That is the practice of the impersonal of those who are aspiring for impersonal liberation. So this ku yogi means bad yogi. He's a yogi practicing Ashtanga yoga, but his goal is impersonal. But in the course of his Ashtanga Yoga, while progressing in his sadhana in Ashtanga Yoga, he will actually come face to face. He will actually see Paramatma and he will get such attraction because the Lord's form is so beautiful. And then this Ashtanga Yogi is thinking that my heart is getting pulled like a magnet, it's getting pulled to this form, but I should not have any attraction because this attraction is an impediment for my progress. So forcibly he pulls his heart away from Paramatma. But the heart is completely, attracted. It goes back to Paramatma and he keeps pulling it back. Why he is meditating on Paramatma in the first place, because he has to, in Ashtanga Yoga, the mind should have one object for meditation. So he makes Paramatma the object of his meditation. To control his mind, right? To fix his mind, he needs some object. But after his mind is now pulled away from all material things and now it is focused on the object, which is Paramatma, but because the Lord's form is so beautiful, his his heart begins to melt and tears start coming from his eyes. And he thinks, what is this? This is not right. So forcibly, he pulls his mind away from Paramatma. So there it is said, he uses his mind as a hook, iron hook, which is used in fishing. His mind is used like an iron hook. He throws it on Paramatma and he pulls it back the way people fish. So, therefore, it is very painful to the Lord. The point is, such yogis, kuyogis, they're actually very cruel. They pull their minds back with great difficulty. It's not easy because the mind is just running to Paramatma and they keep pulling again and again and again and again. And finally, it's like, like a small child, right? It's attracted and you just keep pulling him away and finally his heart is broken like that. And the mind comes back. But then there is nothing to meditate on because the mind will not go back to lower things now. It got a higher taste. It has experienced Paramatma. What is beyond Paramatma? He's not doing bhakti. He didn't get the mercy of a devotee. And he cannot go down to material things anymore. And this yogi won't allow the mind to go on Paramatma, so it pulled it back. Because it has no engagement, the mind will just dissolve. His linga deha is dissolved, his body is dissolved. And that type of liberation he gets. He is not exactly getting Brahman liberation, but the Atma, there's another destination. Somebody who just remains as Atma, not exactly going to Brahman. So such a person is called a kuyogi. So that's why here Srila Prabhupada is saying Duratma, right? Who is a Duratma here? One second, I have so many things open here and I'm trying to open the shloka. Yes. So, the so-called yogis who concentrate their mind or meditate upon the impersonal or void are described here. This verse of Srimad Bhagavatam describes persons who are expected to be very expert yogis engaged in meditation, but who do not find the Supreme Personality of Godhead seated within the heart. They don't have any attraction for that. So what they do is after they pull the mind back from Paramatma, they just focus on Hridaya Akasha, just empty space within the heart. These persons are described as Duratma, which means a person who has a very crooked heart. Right? That's the thing. So, although they are engaged in meditation, they are not broad-hearted. They cannot find the four-handed Narayan form, even though he is seated within their heart. They're so, what do you say, such a unfortunate people, right? Even after seeing the Lord, they are not able to see him. That's the thing. So, because here the Kumaras are saying that, my Lord, you are there in everyone's heart, but still rascals cannot see you. So they're just appreciating how we are able to see. Then they say, why we are able to see? Because of the mercy of your devotee, Brahmaji. That's the only way. So also we can understand they were not able to, the Kuyogi, he was not able to appreciate because he didn't get the mercy of a devotee. So I'll stop there. Uh, Thank you all very much for your attention. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you very much, Mataji. Half of
Thank
that Lord appearance I experienced while you are describing. That is really something. Actually, I may not be that lucky to see him in front, but the way you experienced, I had half of the feeling today.
Krishna Mata.
It's really your mercy. That is Krishna's mercy only. Yes, we all think that now we have Paramatma in us and we do a lot of things and this thing, that thing, but we don't know that real experience. And
Yes.
then we don't know how much we have to deal with the devotees, and that affects a lot. So we don't know all that. Just sometimes we talk about a devotee also, why he is like that, why she is like that. But we don't know that how much it affects.
Yes, Mataji.
That is really something, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the nice
Hare
experience.
Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so
1
much.
second, Mataji. Dronachar Prabhu is raising his hand after that. Prabhuji?
Thank you very much, Mother Archana Bhakti. Very nice class. Great examples and explanations. In terms of, we say that, we have to get the mercy of a devotee. Is this, I'm trying to make the connection, does this mean the spiritual master? When we say the mercy of a devotee, is this the manifestation of the Guru's mercy? Or how do we understand the relationship of the Guru in this connection?
So there is sadhu and there is guru. Both are different. They can be the same person. It's not like they have to be different. But the first, the living entity, conditioned living entity, is since beginningless turned away from the absolute truth. He does not have knowledge of the absolute truth with him. And life after life, creation after creation, he just comes and he does karma and he'll get the reaction. He's just stuck in that cycle of karma. And after creation, he goes back into the body of Karanodakashai Vishnu, he stays there. And when the next time when he glances, again there is creation, again he comes and he'll go on like this. There is no beginning when this started because the Lord's past. It's like, can we say when did the Lord first glance on Prakriti? It cycles, it's going eternally. So these conditioned souls are covered by ignorance, avidya, accompanied by their karma, and they're in the body of Karanodakshai Vishnu. When he glances on Prakriti, then creation is set into motion, and then within the universe, these living entities are sent and they get bodies. Brahmaji gives them bodies, and for the term of one universe, which is 100 years of Brahmaji, we go on changing bodies. On our own, or on his own, a conditioned soul will not take to bhakti. He is now under the influence of the external energy. Avidya is the external energy, it's a component of Maya. For him to turn to the Supreme Lord, he needs the internal energy. Where will this internal energy be? internal energy. Bhakti is nothing but the condensed form of the internal energy. So this bhakti is there in the heart of the devotee. Until and unless we receive it, so our account, our bhakti account has to be started by a devotee who has that bhakti in his heart. Otherwise, there's no account. We cannot start. No matter how many times we die and we take birth, we will never take to bhakti. Even if we come in touch with Bhagavad Gita, still we won't take to bhakti. In Bhagavad Gita, after reading Bhagavad Gita, we will think Bhagavad Gita is teaching me how to be a good person, how to improve my business, or this or that. But he won't understand. He will understand that I am supposed to surrender to Krishna when he receives, first of all, he gets the association of a devotee, and in that association, he receives the mercy of the devotee. That's when his good fortune awakens. So, when you say sadhu, Krishna's mercy follows a devotee's mercy, that's the very first mercy that we get is from a sadhu, a devotee, who opens our account. He may or may not be our spiritual master. Because from sadhu's first association with sadhu up to taking shelter of a spiritual master, right? Guru Padashraya, that's the beginning actually. You surrender to a spiritual master. There is a gap in between where you're building your faith. So after you receive mercy, that's when you will start hearing more and more in the association of devotees. And whatever questions and doubts I may have in my heart, they're all resolved, answered. And when I get 100% faith, then I begin pure devotional service, because now I surrender myself to Krishna. So when you surrender yourself to Krishna means, how do you do that? You have to take shelter of a spiritual master. You have to surrender to the spiritual master. Spiritual masters are also of different. It's not that only Diksha Guru is our spiritual master. The spiritual master, you have Shravana Guru, one who is teaching us Shastra. There is Shiksha Guru, who is teaching us how we should spend our time in a day. How many hours and what type of devotional service, Shravanam or book distribution, what we are doing. He's actually guiding us. Shiksha Guru, he's called Shiksha Guru. And then we have Diksha Guru, who's actually giving us mantra. All three have a very high qualification. All of them have to be Shabde Parecha Nishnataha. That means they have to be fully, they should be knowledgeable of Shastra and realized they should have experienced the Lord, direct experience the Lord. This is the qualification of a spiritual master, whether Shravana Guru, Shiksha Guru, or Diksha Guru. And anyone can actually deliver the disciple. Anyone can disciple. So whoever the disciple takes shelter, then that Guru can actually deliver him, either Shravan Guru, Shiksha Guru, or Bhajan Guru. So here your question was about the Lord's mercy. Yes. First mercy is Sadhu's mercy. After you get Sadhu's mercy, then depending on your sincerity, the Lord will give you your spiritual master. So the Lord's mercy is follow. The Lord's mercy is there at every step. Without the Lord's mercy, how we can progress?
Cannot.
So, but to get the Lord's mercy the very first time, the account has to be started by a devotee, a sadhu. Sadhu will open the account. And after that, when you get the Lord's mercy, by his mercy, you get your spiritual master. That is why, if, depending on your sincerity, if you're sincerely looking for, you want to actually become a pure, that's why sometimes some people get cheaters as gurus, sometimes some people get, because I get like that because that's what I deserve. You see? So depending on my sincerity, I will get. The Lord will arrange. That's there. The Lord will give. And it's not over after I get my spiritual master. Now, the spiritual master role also is I have so many obstacles which are blocking me from doing sadhana. I'm not able to do sadhana because of my offenses, because of my ignorance. The spiritual master kicks away those tough, severe anarthas which are not allowing me to do sadhana. So, therefore, spiritual master is absolutely essential. Otherwise, I won't even be able to do sadhana. And then, by doing sadhana under the guidance of spiritual master, when the Lord is pleased by my sadhana, then he reveals himself, gives me direct experience. So, this is the whole journey in short. Okay, Prabhuji? I don't hear you.
I was reflecting on the fifth and the sixth. The other day, I was reflecting on the fifth and sixth stanzas of the Guru Astakam, and it talks about how the spiritual master, he's seeing the Lord, he's engaged, actively engaged in the service of, Radha and Madhava, and assisting the gopis.
Yes.
And, that's, is a very nice vision of understanding of what, how the self-realized, you know, devotee is engaged in this way. Um, and, as you were talking today about getting to the stage of the Lord revealing oneself and getting to the qualification of revealing, and you need a devotee, through the process of serving the devotees are on that platform. This can take place. And thank you for clarifying the different souls, advanced souls, self-realized souls in our life, and the roles that they play in our journey.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
sadhus also before, when we get sadhus association, initially before we begin pure devotional service, but after that also there is sadhu sangha. So then your association is all pure devotee association. They're all pure devotees. Pure devotees means 24-hour, engagement and devotional service. So that is sadhu sangha. So at every step, at any stage, and even after going back to Goloka, sadhu sangha is always there. That is absolutely, that's what is nourishing us. So we need that before we become pure devotees and after we become pure devotees, and while we are, and the spiritual master is also there constantly, all the time, So bhajan guru, who is guiding your bhajan, shiksha guru, right? Bhajana shiksha guru, he's called. And then of course we have diksha guru and like that. And in some cases all three are one person. He's only diksha guru, he's only bhajan guru, he's only shiksha guru, like that. Yes, Vrindavaneshwari Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I really appreciate your class. So I have a question. I get confused with the pure devotee concept because I've understood it to be that a pure devotional service is very rare.
Yes,
So then for us to come in contact with a pure devotee and have that association would also be very difficult.
yes. But we have been, the fact that we are connected with this line means we got the seed already. We got the seed of pure devotional service. So, you have to build your, if you get the association of pure devotees, that is the best. But no doubt, pure devotees are very rare because When you say pure devotee, the definition is Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Dhyanavritam Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. That means he's doing 24 hours direct devotional service to Krishna. That means Shravanam Kirtanam. And that is not interrupted by any karma or jnana. And whatever he's doing is only to please the Lord, not for anything else. It's a very, very high standard. So, no doubt, it's rare to find pure devotees. Uh, uh, but also, the very first time when you get pure devotees association, it's not happening by not because of what I did. You get pure devotees association when they show mercy and they decide to give their mercy to you. So we are really just recipients. But after we receive that first mercy, now we can pray. Because now we understand the value of devotional service, we can pray to the Lord for that association. Please give me the association of your pure devotees because I want to progress in bhakti. We can pray to the Lord, and also we can try to please, whatever pleases the Lord, right? Try to serve the devotees around you and uh, chant Hare Krishna very sincerely and pray to the Lord. And because you see, the spiritual master is also arranged by the Lord. So he can arrange the association for us if we are sincerely seeking that and praying to the Lord. When I said the Lord's mercy doesn't come before the devotee, the very first time for a conditioned soul cannot directly get the mercy of the Supreme Lord. That's the point. But after you receive the mercy of a devotee, now you begin to understand the value of bhakti, the value of, you start understanding the Supreme Lord. So now you will pray to the Lord. You can pray. And you already got that mercy. Initial mercy we got. Based on that, and now depending on our sincere endeavors, we can receive mercy from the Lord like that. And by His mercy, we can get the association of pure devotees also. Is that okay?
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Golokananda Priyamati.
Oh, Hare Krishna. I'm just wondering, the four Kumaras are the son of Lord Brahma, and how they became impersonalists, and when did they heard about the Lord from him?
How did they become impersonalists? Yeah, that's a good question because Brahmaji is a devotee. They didn't. So obviously, they didn't hear about the Lord from Brahmaji before they became impersonalists. They were impersonalists. Actually, the Kumaras are known as Shaktiavesh avatars.
Mm-hmm.
They are, what do you say? So when you say Shaktiavesha means a living entity which has the potency of the Supreme Lord. Avatar because he's carrying the potency. So what is the potency? They are representing the Jnana Shakti of the Lord. So that means from beginning they are impersonalists only. Living entities who are carrying the Jnana Shakti of the Lord. That is, Kumaras are impersonalists. That is why when Brahmaji created the Kumaras, immediately, because the whole purpose of Brahmaji's creating them was to procreate. He's a Prajapati.
Yeah.
But they refused and they left and they went. That means they were already Jnanis. So we don't know how they became that. I don't know. They're already Shaktivesh avatars in that sense. But after they were Jnanis, Brahmaji, like we saw, he said, you're thinking this Brahmananda is all in all. That's nothing compared to the pleasure, the bliss you experience in bhakti. And then he actually instructed them. Exactly when he instructed them, we don't know. Before they came to Vaikunta. And that's when they got a desire to go and see now.
That's what they say we heard from Brahmaji.
Yes, yes. Golokananda Mataji, okay?
Makes sense because as soon as they were created, they just left.
Right.
So they were already liberated, Gyanis, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
why.
not-
Then after we got the instruction from Brahma about the Lord,
Yes. Yes.
the personal form of the Lord. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why. First the devotee. So for them, when they heard from Brahmaji, that was their first
Yeah.
mercy that they received from a devotee, like that. So I think we'll end here. It's way past time. Thank you all so much for staying.
Hearing all these classes, we should become little bit devotees, Mataji. Every day,
Yes, Mataji.
every
I
day.
need a lot of mercy. I want to be a devotee.
Thank you very much, Mother Archanabhakti.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vancha
Grantaraj
Vachako
kalpata.
Patarubhischa, Kripa
Upasando
Sindhuvyevacha,
prevacha patitanam
Titanam
pavanebhyo
Pavanevyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavevyo
namo
Namo
namaha.
Namaha.
Thank you, Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Are you back now, Mother Archanabhakti, from India?
No, Prabhuji. No, not yet.
You're still in India.
there.
Yes.
Do you know when you'll return?
No, I don't know.
No.
She's enjoying Mayapur.
Okay.
You're in the dam. You're purifying
Yeah.
Yeah,
by your
lucky lady.
yeah, lucky.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to really thank you then, especially for sharing your association, even though you're in Sri Mayapur Dham, making yourself available for us. That means a lot. Thank you very much.
Actually, this keeps me alive. So
Yeah, you're
yeah,
giving us your sadhu sangha, and this is a very rare and very important.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We always
We are in good
go
association.
for you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Grantaraj
Krishna.
Bhakti Vijay. Thank you. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.